could be the biggest scam in e-bike history, and I was right in the middle of it. For over a year, I promoted eSales e-bikes. I believed in the brand, I believed in my mission, and I believed in the man behind it. But now, I just feel sick to my stomach. Today, I'm going to walk you through a story so shocking it feels like a Netflix true crime documentary, complete with lies, manipulation, a fake bankruptcy, and felony convictions that you've probably never knew about. This is what happens when you trust the wrong people in this industry. And this is why I've decided to use my voice, not just as a reviewer, but as a consumer advocate. So I started promoting eSales over a year ago. I love their concept, dual motors, dual batteries, huge power, extremely well-made engineering. I mean, just solid e-bikes, right? And I'll admit it, I like David Cleveland. I did consider him a friend. You know, he had this big, confident energy. He'd say things like, we're going to crush Juiced, Aerial Riders next, Wired, please. He talked like he was building an empire. In August of 2023, I flew out to Nevada and spent time at eSales headquarters in Pahrump. I ate at David's table, I rode his bikes, I felt content with him yelling like a madman about how eSales was going to take over the e-bike world. He even joked about buying a yacht. It felt like he was letting me on in his dream. There were spelling errors all over the website, but I ignored it. I had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. It wasn't until after eSales collapsed that I started connecting the dots. What I thought was confidence was something else entirely. And the truth, it's darker than I ever imagined. On April 28, 2025, as a lot of you know, David Cleveland posted on Facebook announcing that eSales was shutting down. So first there was a message without a picture, and it was very formal. It didn't feel personable or anything. So there was big rumors saying that his account had been hacked. But then the next day, he posted another comment, but this time it felt a lot more heartfelt. And at that point, to me, it still felt very honest and open and heartfelt. And he did say in that message that customers that had placed orders that were waiting on e-bikes, that had put deposits down, were going to be contacted individually. Other than that, he's just said a bunch of things and how he was so heartbroken and this and that. So instead, receiving messages, dozens of them, I was the one that started receiving messages, of course, like venting with me, right? On like my videos, you know, from angry, heartbroken customers who have been ghosted, ignored, or flat out lied to. So next, I'm going to read you some of the comments that I got. These are real messages from my community, people who bought these e-bikes based on my videos. All right, so the messages, and I quote, I paid in full for an eSales bike back in January. David said the delay was due to shipping, then parts, then labor. It's April and I still have nothing. Now they shut down and no one's responding. I'm heartbroken. Another comment. Electrified Latina. I trusted your review and ordered one in March. $3,700 gone. I emailed 3 times and never got a reply. How could he do this to us? Another comment. I was promised a replacement battery for my Super Monarch. It's been over 5 months. I've called, emailed, nothing. Then they go dark? What a scam. Next comment. He said he'd reached out personally to every customer. Laugh my ass off. What a joke. No one I know has heard a thing from him. Next comment. It's not your fault, but I wish someone had told me sooner. I'm out thousands. Next comment. I was about to buy one last month. Your video saved me. I hope others see this before it's not too late. Next comment. I never even got a shipping confirmation. Now I find out he shut down through your post. This is criminal. Next comment. He called me personally, last year. I thought he was legit, but now I feel conned. That last one, guys, hit me the hardest because I know exactly how that feels. I was there too. So while I didn't lose a bike or thousands of dollars like you guys, this did hit me hard. I have received dozens upon dozens of comments just like this one. Veterans. I remember a guy, he told me that he had bought 4 e-bikes for himself and his family. Let's think at least $3,000 a pop, $12,000. That's probably close to $15,000. $15,000. Bunch of other people telling me they gave him $500 deposits. People that have been waiting 4 months. People that were told okay, your bike is in the port. And then they were just waiting for Rachel, one of the very nice lady assistants there. She just had to call to tell them when it was about to arrive, right? From the port to, first to e-sales and then to the customer. Guys, dozens, maybe even hundreds of messages like this. It is so devastating. I really feel for you. I've been listening to those, like I said, for over a month. And then wait to hear what I just found out. You better be sitting down for what I'm about to tell you. Make sure you stay till the end. Let me tell you first a little bit about who David Cleveland is. Okay, so this is where things take a really dark turn. While many were shocked by the e-sales collapse, David Cleveland's story didn't start with e-bikes, it started with a felony. In 2006, on Thanksgiving Day, David Cleveland was involved in a fatal head-on collision in Pahrump, Nevada, while driving under the influence of cocaine. The crash tragically resulted in the death of 27-year-old Jeremy Moon, a Nevada resident visiting family, a California resident visiting family for the holiday. Moon's wife, Anna, and cousin Crystal were also seriously injured in the accident. Cleveland was convicted of DUI causing death and sentenced to 11 years in prison. He served his sentence across multiple correctional facilities and was released on February 22, 2018, after which he remained on house arrest until early 2021. After his release, Cleveland expressed remorse for his actions, stating, and I quote, "I am so sorry for that violent wreck. I have asked for their forgiveness. They said they have forgiven me." Okay, guys, I hope that you have been sitting down for this whole section. Okay, so now that you know who David Cleveland is, let's continue. Sit down, take a glass of milk, because oh my God, guys, I had my mouth open when I've only found out about this a few days ago, and I prepared the script for you because I had to tell you immediately. Okay, so because the lies only get deeper here. I'm gonna talk about a bankruptcy that never happened. Yep. So after the shutdown post, David Cleveland, as a lot of you know, he was going bankrupt, saying, "I might lose everything, including my home, but I will not lose my dignity and honor." That line was all over Facebook. I even made a tribute, not for him, but for his brand. And I know a lot of you saw it too. And I believed every single word he said. I thought they were honest. I thought it was heartfelt. But here's the thing. He never actually filed for bankruptcy. Not in Nevada, not in Colorado, not in California, not anywhere. I double checked it all. We searched the PACER system, which tracks US federal bankruptcy filings. We also checked the Nevada Business Court Records, Clark County Court search, and the US Bankruptcy Court for the District of Nevada. There is no bankruptcy filing from David Cleveland, nothing from eSales, nothing pending, nothing dismissed, no docket, no case number. Guys, he never filed. He just said it to calm people down and vanish quietly. Just take a minute to let that sink in. It was not a legal shutdown. It was a hit and run. And what's worse, while he was claiming to be broke and struggling to preserve his dignity, he was allegedly still driving his fancy cars, holding on to assets, and refusing to refund the people he owed thousands of dollars to. I had people writing me saying, wait, if he's bankrupt, why hasn't there been a formal notice? I mean, it's been on like Reddit threads too. That's where my suspicion started when I read Reddit threads. Why is the website still up? Because it was up I don't know, like a few days after. Why are Facebook posts still running? All of this are great questions. And then a lot of you, including myself, asking ourselves, why didn't he return the money before filing for bankruptcy? And he even said on one of his Facebook posts, like, whoops, I declared bankruptcy. I am, my money, or all my assets, all my money, everything is being tracked. I cannot, this is almost a quote, this is from what I can remember. So all my assets are being tracked. I cannot spend a dime without it being tracked. I cannot send money or spend money or help people even if I want to. What a genius idea to take people's money. I think some of you did know about David Cleveland's criminal history. Well, right? The felony, the one where he crashed under the influence of cocaine and killed someone. Because I have heard some of you in my just comments, make some comments, but especially Wired's, I was gonna say Wired's clone, no. Wired's troll, Jay Fly, in almost every single one of my eSouls videos, he will be posting about David Cleveland, this one crime. He's a felon, he's a con man, he was in prison for 11 years, he killed a man, blah, blah, blah. So thanks to this troll, I did know about this. But this is what I thought, guys. I do believe people can change. And I wanted to believe David had. I thought he had turned a corner, right? You know, he was always claiming what a Christian he was, and he would wear this big cross. I'm sure you saw it on videos that he would make. But when I started seeing and actually hearing how he treated customers, people would tell me they would get yelled at, hanging up on phone calls because he had a very short fuse, ignoring support requests. If you thought David Cleveland's past was the worst part of this story, just wait. Because once eSouls started to crumble, people who worked with him began to speak out. As soon as David posted that now infamous shutdown message on Facebook, the gloves came off. I started hearing whispers and then full-on stories from former staff and insiders. eSoul's employees, people in the Facebook groups, Reddit posts, even locals in Paramp came forward and said David was verbally abusive to his staff. He yelled at female employees, constantly lost his temper, and fired people impulsively. There was no HR structure, just rage, chaos, and fear. One former employee described the eSoul's office as walking on eggshells every day. But the biggest shock, a physical altercation in the shop that sent David himself to the hospital. One of his employees had punched him on the face. He even posted a photo of his own swollen face on Facebook, bloodied and bruised, very swollen nose, trying to paint himself as a victim. Quitting, crying, and scared to speak out until the business collapsed. They were afraid of retaliation, and in a small desert town like Paramp, good jobs are hard to come by. One commenter in the eSoul's owners Facebook group wrote, "I worked there for months. He treated us like garbage. I'm glad someone's finally saying it." I also got DMs from people who didn't want their names revealed. They shared stories of racist comments being made in the shop, unsafe working conditions, being told to lie to customers about shipping timelines. And while all this was happening, customer service was collapsing. Calls weren't being returned, emails ignored, and Facebook ads were still running as if nothing had changed. I mean, guys, and a lot of you remember this, David was still promoting his brands till the day that he declared bankruptcy. Even the day after he said he had been shut down, or the day off he said he had shut down because it happened in a span of 2 days. I clearly remember him posting about his newly released models. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Is it his very first moped style e-bike being released? I'll put it up on the screen. I have it in the tip of my tongue. It was not the Monster, it was the one after, but he was heavily promoting it. And then the next day or the same day, he declared bankruptcy? Whatever. Okay, so after he declared bankrupt and the closing of his shop, you know, and like, again, like getting all that influx of like, poor of you guys, right? So, you know, I just kept thinking, and even when I made the tribute video, I'm like, it can't be this bad. There's no way. I really believe this guys. There is no way he could keep taking money if he couldn't ship bikes. But he did, and for months. And the worst part, viewers were still placing orders because they trusted me. So this isn't just business. This is full-on betrayal. I mean, I repeated a video of one of his bikes because I wasn't like shooting. I had been very sick. I wasn't shooting still. So I repeated a video promoting his bikes, I think like 3 days before he declared bankruptcy. Because I had people saying like, oh, you knew, you were there in Paramp, Nevada, and you know, you knew he was gonna declare bankruptcy. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry guys, but I shot this video many months ago when I was there, like August of last year, right? But because I reposted it days before he declared bankruptcy, then it looked like I had just been there. But no, just to like, to clear this thing up so that you guys know why this happened. So no, and like I said, oh, the Magnetar, that's the name of the bike he was still promoting. He said I remember there was a huge picture with a bunch of Magnetars in his property in headquarters the day he declared bankruptcy, the day he was still promoting that, taking money. And he also said in one of his, and a lot of you will remember this, oh, I am so heartbroken, this and that. And then, you know, like a lot of you, do you know that are out on like cash and eBikes and stuff, I am sure that you guys, you will be made whole through the bankruptcy process. These were his exact words on that Facebook post. Unbelievable. So why does this matter, me telling you all of this? So when someone claims bankruptcy and it's not true, it's fraud. It's manipulation, and it makes it harder for customers to fight back or get refunds through banks or credit card companies. It's disgusting, is what it is. That's why I'm doing this video. Because if I hadn't looked into it, people would still be waiting, hoping, and being strung along by a man who walked away with thousands and thousands of dollars from hard-working people. He even said, and I said this in my tribute video, that he was going to be, the following week after the bankruptcy, he was going to be making a post with his contact of the factory in China, that they were still going to be around to support you guys with eSales, eBikes, you know, for spare parts, for just like e-bike service in general. Of course, he never did that. That was his very last post, the one where he said people would be made whole and blah, blah, blah. That was his last one before he disappeared into thin air. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about my wake-up call. So this exactly here, guys, is what happens when you mess with me and my community. I trusted David Cleveland with all my heart. I worked with eSales over a year. I rode their bikes. I visited their shop in Parham, Nevada. I even filmed videos with David, sat at his table, listened to him talk about how he was gonna take down competitors and buying a yacht. I believed him. And because of that, some of you believed in him too. He had my loyalty and my fire and my passion. And I did really believe in his bikes. I mean, that I will never dispute that. Great e-bikes, okay? But he used that trust, he used my platform to keep the illusion going. All while he was yelling at customers, dodging customers, and quietly preparing to vanish. But once the curtain fell, you bet I was watching. I saw the shutdown post, I saw the lies, and I saw the wave of people he hurt. And that's when something changed in me. I realized this isn't just about reviews anymore. It's about advocacy. It's about protecting people like you, the ones who put their faith in these brands, in this industry, and yes, in me. So this is me drawing the line. If you run a shady e-bike company, if you lie about UL certifications or mistreat customers or fake a bankruptcy to dodge refunds, you're not getting a pass anymore. You're getting exposed. David didn't just hurt his business, he hurt people, and he tried to do it quietly. But that is not how this story ends. Not if I have anything to say about it. So, why does this story matter more than ever? This is bigger than just one company shutting down. It's about what kind of industry we want to build and who we trust to build it. eSales was in business for nearly 10 years. David Cleveland had fans, loyal customers, and yes, influencers like me who believed in what he was doing. But behind the scenes, there was another story, a history of crimes, a pattern of lies, and a long list of people left in the dust when things went south. He didn't just close up shop. He used the word bankruptcy to dodge accountability. He ignored thousands of dollars in unshipped orders, unpaid commissions, and unanswered emails. And when the truth started surfacing, he played the victim, posting from a hospital bed, talking about losing his house, wearing a giant cross on his chest, like it made everything okay. But This isn't about personal redemption or personal revenge. This is about consumer protection. If you hurt this community, if you lie to my audience, if you take advantage of everyday people, I will come for you. Not out of spite, but out of principle. That's what being a consumer advocate means to me. This story is proof of why it's critical to ask hard questions, investigate red flags, and never ever let someone hide behind a good pitch and a big personality, because this community deserves better. If you were affected by e-sales or know someone who has, leave a comment below and share your story. If you want to help me hold companies accountable and protect future riders, hit subscribe and join this movement. This is just the beginning. And to you, the shady brands watching, you better tighten up, because the Electrified Latina is done being quiet. As some of you guys know, I've been posting a series on my customer advocacy support. I'm posting them every Sunday. I'm talking about red flags of different brands. I'm listening to every brand that you guys want me to investigate. I am checking Reddit threads, Trustpilot, BBB scores, Facebook, YouTube comments. I'm doing deep dives in the brands that you're thinking about buying from, and giving you all my unbiased and trust investigation results. And then at the end of each video, I roast a company that is like known for bad customer support, shady attention, lying, things like that. So yeah. And besides that, of course, I post my regular e-bike reviews, exciting content. We work really hard in this, making this content for you guys. But I am so sorry to have to deliver this devastating news to you today. But I felt it was necessary. And I am sorry from the bottom of my heart for all of you that lost money, bikes, and sleep over this whole mess. But at least you are not hoping and waiting anymore. There's not gonna be refunds. There's not gonna be bikes delivered to you. And for this, I am so sorry from the bottom of my heart. Guys, I will see you very soon. And no matter what, always remember, happy riding! Stay safe.